Well, saving time and money on a commercial fit out is it's the major requirement of every managing director. And to learn how one particular company, IDEXX Laboratories, saved a great deal of time and money on their particular commercial fit out, we're joined on the line by the former managing director of IDEXX Laboratories, Tim White. Tim, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, Ken. It's great to be here.
Now, take us back. You employed a construction company by the name of Skope Constructions. You had a $900,000 fit out. Now, explain the type of fit out, because in your case, time was money because you were running a group of laboratories. Describe what the fit out entailed.
Yeah, so we ran a tender process. We went out to the market. We were expanding at a rapid rate, and our business was requiring a new facility. Our existing landlord offered us an opportunity to relocate within the business park, and we had to move within a very short amount of time because our lease was running out and this new lease had come up. We were getting additional space, but we also wanted to ensure that our business continued to be co-located. We ran a laboratory operation, our administrative function, and a distribution warehousing centre, as well as a service centre and customer service and support. So our goal was to ensure that we found an appropriate location to move to and then have an appropriate fit-out partner that could meet our needs both from a fit-out perspective but also on time and on budget as well.
Now, it's my understanding that Skope Constructions were able to bring the project on budget, on time, within 6 weeks. Share with us, go back right to the start when you were choosing a builder, because that's the greatest challenge, is choosing a builder. Why did you choose Skope over the other many people that you could have gone with?
Yeah, we had three construction companies tendering for the fit-out work. I think the key to our final selection process was simply the fact that Skope Constructions understood our needs. They took the time, they took the energy and the effort to really understand what we required from an outcome perspective. They also took the time to appreciate and understand what we needed from a budgetary point of view, but still to have an appropriate outcome from a fit-out perspective. The other thing that they gave us was that level of confidence and trust that they would deliver on time and on budget as well. And that really drove us to a point, and it was a collaborative decision across the business to go with Skope Construction. It was unanimous, in fact, and we were very, very happy that we chose them in the end.
Now, I understand one of the problems on this particular project, running a group of laboratories, obviously the power supply, the power infrastructure is really important. I understand they helped you bring that up to capacity so that you could actually achieve the goal that you set out to achieve.
Yes, most certainly. It was something we actually underestimated ourselves, to be honest. We didn't quite appreciate running a 24/7 operation and ensuring that we had the appropriate amount of power supply to ensure that we didn't have downtime. The great news is that Skope was not only able to solve our problem, they also were able to engage some appropriate contractors to come in and give us the advice as well through the Skope network to ensure that it met not only the current needs but the future needs from growth. And so, who would have thought that we needed the power, obviously, to run the bigger operation, but then Skope was able to come in and really support those needs and deliver an appropriate outcome through the use of an external provider as well.
Now, to deliver a project of this nature, you had laboratories, you had a set of offices, you had warehousing, plus not only that, you've got staff on site, because, you're servicing the veterinary industry. They constantly are asking of you certain demands. You can't just put them off till tomorrow. How did Skope help you get that project done so quickly? Because I would imagine that 6 weeks is a short period of time for what you wanted to achieve.
Yeah, well, it comes down to planning. And obviously they had a very strong project management background. They were able to support us through the project management process. They were also able to be a key liaison with council to allow us to get our construction certificate and ultimately our occupation certificate as well. But what they did was they had their trades. So they had, a group of trustworthy, honest, hardworking trades that they could rely on and call upon to really meet the needs in terms of such a tight turnaround time. It would be fair to say Skope pulled out all stops to get us in there within the required time frame. We also had to move over a weekend and be operational very, very quickly, as you pointed out, because we were delivering diagnostic services to veterinarians who are obviously managing their patients, and it's absolutely critical that they have continuity of service as well. So it was really in that planning, preparation, and then execution process by Skope that allowed us to continue to operate without any downtime whatsoever.
Now, as a managing director, it is a big thing taking on a project like this, but at the same time, you've got to run your business and keep in touch with staff, keep in touch with customers, the development of the business. How did you find that Skope took away the pressure that is normally involved with a project like this?
I think it comes down to one thing, and that was communication. They were extremely proactive in their approach from a communication point of view. There was weekly updates, there was on-site meetings, there was the ability for them to come and even talk to staff and give the staff comfort around what they were doing and what their outcome was. Skope even took the time to travel to other locations and facilities and have a look at what was required. So they really went, what I would say, above and beyond to understand our needs, but also communicate to not only management, but the general staff to ensure that they were aware of what was going on as well, which, is quite unusual from a construction company perspective. It's just that level of, professionalism, that personal touch, and also their ability to connect to ensure that they meet on the client's expectations.
So if you were sitting in front of another managing director in a similar situation, taking on a similar type project, how would you summarise how Skope actually helped you?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a promoter of their business because they've been able to deliver. And, it comes down to a few key words from my perspective is they're trustworthy, they're honest, they're hardworking, and they're extremely professional. They deliver on their promises and commitments. If they can't deliver on those promises or commitments, they're open and they're transparent, and they're a pleasure to deal with, and I'd have no hesitation in recommending Skope Constructions into the future.
Well, Tim White, former Managing Director of IDEXX Laboratories, I'm glad the project was a success, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for your time.